Pay attention. If we have a function like f of x equals sine theta, I want to graph this function. So when graphing f of x sine theta, let's take some angles, like the angle 0. F of 0 when x equals 0, so it's a sine 0 equals 0. Let's take angle 30, 60, okay, and 90. Sine 30 is half. Sine 60 is root 3 over 2, which is 0.8. And sine 90 is 1. This is the highest point. After that, you will go down sine 120 and sine 150 till sine 180. Sine 180 is 0. And sine 120, okay, it's sine 90, sine 180 minus 60, which is 0.8, and sine 150, it's a half, and sine 180, 0. We notice that sine theta took a curve here, reaching 180. After that, you will go down in the negative part. And sine 270 is negative 1. So sine 90 is 1, the highest point is 1, and the lowest point, sine 270, is negative 1 here. Okay? And you will go up to reaching sine 360, which is 0. This is the behavior of sine theta. And this function is a periodic function. What is the meaning of periodic function? Periodic function means that this function repeats itself, okay? Each 360. When reaching 360, sine 360, f of x equals sine theta here, it's 0, and you will go up here and go down again. And when taking negative angles, you will find that this angle is taking this curve. The behavior, this is the behavior of the function. The highest point we reached is 1, and the lowest point is negative 1. This is called the range of the function. So the range of the function here equals negative 1 and 1. That means the minimum value for this function is negative 1, and the highest value for this function is 1, negative 1 and 1, lowest and the highest, maximum and minimum, okay? And this function is periodic function. What the meaning of periodic function? Periodic function means that this function is repeated, or this function repeats itself each 360. So this function is periodic function, and its period is 360, or we can say 2 pi. Okay. Now let's go to the function f of theta equals cosine theta. Try to graph this function taking special angles like 0, 90, 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. So cosine 0 is 1, and cosine 90 is 0, and cosine 180 is negative 1, and cosine 270 is 0, and cosine 360 is 1. As you see here, this function, this is the behavior of the function, this curve here. So this function is a periodic function, and its period is 360, or 2 pi, okay? And if you took values more than 360, you'll find that this function decreases to reach 0, then negative, then up again. This function goes up here. And when taking negative values, you'll find this function is going down, then moving up, then going down again, up and down. So the highest value or the greatest value is 1, and the lowest value is -1. So what is the range of this function? The range also is -1 and 1. Okay. If we have a function like f of theta is 3 sine theta, and I want to graph this function, so you are going to take values, and I'm focusing on some angles like 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. You will find sine 0 is 0 multiplied by 3, so it's 0. And sine 90 is 1 multiplied by 3, it's 3. And sine 180 is 0 multiplied by 3 is 0. Okay. And sine 270 is -1 multiplied by 3, so it's -3. -3. And sine 360 is 0. So this function also is periodic function, but its range is -3 and 3. Let's analyze it. This 3 affects on the value of sine, because this 3 is multiplied by the sine theta. And the highest and the lowest value, the highest value, the maximum value is sine 91. So 3 times 1 is 3. And the minimum value 3 times sine 270 is -1 multiplied by 3, -3. So this function is periodic function. And its period is 2 pi or 360. And the range of this function is going to be -3 and 3. Okay. F of theta is 4 cosine theta. What is the range of this function? Because we have 4 multiplied by cosine theta, and the minimum value is cosine 90. Cosine 90 is 0. And cosine 180 is -1 multiplied by 4, so it's -4. And cosine 0 is 1 multiplied by 4, so it will be 4. So the minimum and the maximum value is -4 and 4. Okay, so the range of this function is going to be what? Is going to be -4 and 4. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Because we have 4 multiplied by cosine, and this function is periodic function, and its period is 2 pi. Okay. If I have a function like f of x equals, let's say, sine 2 theta, let's graph this function by taking values. So you will find when theta is 45, sine 45, 2 times 45 is 9, and sine 90 is 1 here. Okay. And the angle 90 is going to be what? 90 in this case, 2 times 90 is 180, and sine 180 is 0. And let's take 135. 2 times 135 is 270, and sine 270 is -1. And let's take 180. 2 times 180 is 360. So this function is a periodic function, and its period is 180 or pi. Why pi, not 2 pi? Because we have 2 multiplied by sine. And to find it quickly, divide 360 divided by 2 equals what? 180. This is the period of the function. And after that, you will find the curve is going to follow the same behavior. Okay. Let's say now we have a function like f of x equals 5 sine 3 theta. What is the range of this function? The range is going to be what? The range is going to be -5 and 5. That is the range. Why is that? Because we have 5 multiplied by this function. And the effect of this 5 just to change the range. Because 5 is going to be multiplied by sine 90. Sine 90, which is 1 multiplied by 5, so it's 5. And sine 270 is -1 multiplied by 5, so it's -5. So this function has range of -5 and 5. And this function is periodic function. And its period, to find the period of the function, divide 360 divided by 3 equals what? 120. Andrew, f of x equals 2/3 cosine 4 theta. What is the range of this function?
-2/3 and 2/3.
Right, -2/3 and 2/3. And this function is periodic function, Yusuf, and its period. You will divide 360 by what? By 4 equals what? 45. Did you get it? Sorry, 90. This function is a periodic function and its period. Yusuf, do you hear me? 306 divided by 4, so it's 90. Andrew, what is the period of this function? It's 90. Why 90?
Because 360 divided by 4
equals 90. That's it.